Hello everyone, this presentation is about Red Bull and its marketing strategy. We will be discussing what are the advantages and disadvantages of Red Bull's marketing strategy. We will also have a look upon the possible risks for the firm. So coming to the point, Red Bull was established in the year 1987 and it started its first foreign market in the year 1992. All its competitors like Coca-Cola and Pepsi were much older than Red Bull and much experienced than Red Bull. So it was difficult for Red Bull to capture its target market, but in the past 20 years it has grown considerably and now it's a potential target to the gigantic firms like Coca-Cola and Pepsi. In the coming slides, we'll be discussing about how surprisingly Red Bull has grown so fast. A firm's development depends upon its marketing strategy, so there is nothing wrong in saying that Red Bull's marketing strategy is responsible for its quick growth. Its marketing strategy is quite strange. It lays a lot of emphasis on sponsoring sports, events, and experiences. Red Bull runs limited traditional advertising, like advertising on a television or advertising on an internet. All its advertisements are based on its brand slogan, Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull sponsored a number of events and experiences to showcase its brand to the public. In other words, to increase the brand awareness of the firm. Let's take a look upon some of the events and experiences sponsored by Red Bull. Flugtag is the first ever event organized by Red Bull. Flugtag is a German word. It means flying day or air show. In this event, all the competitors attempt to fly a homemade, size and weight limited human-powered flying machines. This event is in sync with its brand slogan, Red Bull gives you wings. Soapbox race is another event organized by Red Bull. In this event, participants are supposed to ride in a curvy and slopy road on a homemade vehicle called Soapbox. The participant who reaches the finish line in the shortest time is the winner, and the latest edition of this event is being organized in India, Mumbai. Red Bull also sponsored a number of sports like football, Formula One, etc. Since all these sports are published on television, the firm expects to increase brand awareness from this ways. Red Bull owns a number of football teams like RB Leipzig, FC Red Bull Salzburg, Red Bull Brazil, and New York Red Bulls. Red Bull also sponsored in construction of few football stadiums. Few Red Bull sponsored teams were champions few years back. Red Bull is well known for its sponsorship in F1 racing. The firm owned teams are champions most of the time. Recently, the firm is facing trouble with its car engines sponsored by Honda, uh, Renault, and Mercedes. Red Bull claims that these firms are afraid that their own brands get defeated by Red Bull. Alright, till now we have studied about the marketing strategy followed by Red Bull. Now let's study few advantages and disadvantages this company has with its marketing strategy. Few of its advantages are being relevant, engaging, and implicit. Sponsoring a well-chosen sport or event can increase the brand awareness considerably. Red Bull sponsored a number of football teams. So the consumers think Red Bull is responsible to keep the football players energized and strong. These days consumers are repulsed to the traditional ways of advertising like advertising on a television or advertising on a TV. Since the customers are engaged to the sports, sponsoring sports or events will obviously help attract these kind of customers. Events and sports can act as a platform to sell the goods and services to the customer. So sponsoring events can help the firms to increase its sales. They act as a soft sales. We have seen the advantages of Red Bull's marketing strategy. Now let's take a look upon disadvantages faced by Red Bull. Red Bull's marketing strategy limits the interaction between the marketers and the customers, so it's hard for the firm to get the feedback from the customers. Having a well-organized customer interaction can also make the customers loyal to the brand. Red Bull's marketing strategy just focuses on creating brand awareness among the consumers, whereas an ideal marketing strategy should push the customers to buy the product and also to be loyal to the brand. Although Red Bull is announced as an energy drink safe to consume by most of the governments, there are still rumors that the excessive caffeine in Red Bull can be harmful. Adding on to it, there are few evidences of death by excessive consumption of Red Bull. Thanks for your time and patience. Let's summarize the whole thing. We have discussed Red Bull's marketing strategy, the events and experiences sponsored by Red Bull, the sports sponsored by Red Bull, advantages and disadvantages of Red Bull's marketing strategy, and the risks faced by Red Bull.